When working on boat projects, having extra hands, especially smaller hands, can make everything easier. But what about the inevitable minor injuries that happen? Hi there, I'm Carolyn Sherlock, and on this episode of the Boat Galley podcast, I'll share how my husband and I worked together on boat projects and how we kept minor scrapes from becoming big problems. First, though, today's episode of the Boat Galley podcast is sponsored by Lunatec, makers of the hydration spray bottle, an odor-free dishcloth, and self-cleaning washcloth. Lunatec offers practical gear designed to save water and reduce waste. A water bottle that doubles as a pressure sprayer, a dishcloth that doesn't get stinky. Yes, please. I love them both. Visit lunatecgear.com to learn more and use code BOATGALLEY to save 10% on everything. Lunatec, innovative gear for your outdoor adventures. Okay, let's talk about these little boat projects. Minor injuries are part of life on boats. I wish they weren't, but honestly, they happen. Especially when you're the one with the smallest hands aboard and keep getting volunteered or drafted to wedge into tight spots. It's funny, because for all the talk about mechanical skills and brute strength on boats, a lot of times the most important qualification is just being able to reach the part you're trying to work on. That's where I come in. Let me give you a few examples. One time on Barefoot Gal, we needed to restring a line in our centerboard. The access was through the centerboard trunk. In that space, it's maybe 1.5 inches wide. Dave couldn't even begin to get his hand in there. Mine barely fit, and even then I had to sort of wedge it in. Fingers at weird angles just to get close. Cutting the old line off meant holding a knife at just the right angle, while my pinky was rubbing against rough fiberglass the whole time. That pinky got a nice blister, and it immediately popped. And of course, as I ran the new line through the eye, I added a few more cuts and scrapes. It was just a tiny space with rough edges. Kind of the usual. Do you know what? I've come to expect that. Little nicks, scrapes, and blisters go with the territory when you're working on boat projects, especially when you're the one that can fit into the places that no one else can. Really, you don't quite fit in. There was another time we were rebuilding the engine. Dave and a mechanic friend were doing the heavy lifting. They hit a wall. The motor mounts had to come off, and they just couldn't get access. After 2 days of trying, they finally let me take a crack. Slid my hand in, and with 5 minutes I had the first one off. Not because I had some special skill. I certainly didn't. Simply because I could reach it. Then there was a transmission cooler clamp that broke. Same story. Dave's hand was too big to get in there to even find it, let alone fix it. It took me a few hours, a bit of trial and error, and eventually a double universal on a socket wrench. But I finally got it. So that's the first big takeaway. When you're stuck on a project and think, this is impossible, it might not be a matter of tools or know-how. It might just be that you, whoever's trying, can't reach it. That's where smaller hands can make all the difference. Teenagers are great for this, by the way. Whether it's your own kid or one borrowed from a neighboring boat, they're often more than happy to help. That's a great way to get them involved. Everybody likes to feel wanted and needed, part of the team. Don't be afraid to ask. You might be surprised to find who's willing to lend a hand or a wrist that fits better than yours. Now, the second takeaway from all of this, well, that's boat bites happen. It's just part of the deal. Not because you're doing something wrong, just because boats have tight corners, sharp edges, and fiberglass everywhere. If someone's helping you, they're probably going to get a few scrapes too. Key is keeping those little injuries from turning into bigger problems. In other words, infections. Here's what we do. First, we wash our hands frequently when we're working. Not in a paranoid way, just enough to keep grime and grease out of open skin. Second, we keep a tube of triple antibiotic ointment right next to the bathroom sink. That way, it's always in sight and easy to grab. Every time we wash up after working on a project, we dab it on anything that looks angry. And every time later after the first several days, until it really starts looking healed, we dab some more on. Third, for any cut or blister that isn't fully scabbed over, we cover it with a Band-Aid with some of that ointment underneath it. Even if we're sweating or getting in the water, we keep the Band-Aids on using tincture of benzoin. If you've never heard of it, it's seriously wonderful stuff. It helps adhesive stick even when you're damp and sweating. I've got a link to it in the show notes. Little 3-step routine. Wash, ointment, cover has helped us avoid infections time and time again. I mean, in 17 years of cruising, I think I only actually got an infected foot where I had to take an antibiotic one time. And that was very early in our years. After that, never more. So to sum up here, okay, if you're doing boat work and you're feeling stuck, try enlisting someone with smaller hands. It might be just what you need. And whoever ends up doing the reaching and twisting, whether it's you or someone else, don't be surprised if you come away with a few souvenirs. Just take care of them. Here's hoping your next project has all the access you need, no skinned knuckles, and a whole lot of smooth sailing. Okay, thanks for listening to the Boat Galley Podcast. Did you learn something new? Please help us reach other cruisers. Leave a review on your favorite podcast app. Tell your friends about us. Until then, we hope that we're helping you make your cruising a little bit better.